Hello, Gemini. My name is Dawn Priolat, and I'm here to do your monthly love tarot consultation. And this is going to be for the time period of September 29th until October 29th. And I'm really pumped up about this reading because I am also a Gemini, and this reading, I've already laid the cards out for you. And I can tell you this is making sense for me too. So I encourage you to leave me comments in the comments section about how this did apply to your life. Also, subscribe. Hit the red subscribe button to subscribe to my channel so that you can get these updated readings every single month, plus some special videos as well. Now, before I get started, I want you to think of a question that you have about your relationship so that you can put your intention into this reading, because the very last card that I'm going to go over with you is going to be kind of the outcome card, which will be like the answer to the question that you have. So be ready for that. So get your question, jot it down real quick so you don't forget it. And it can be a yes/no question, by the way. It's okay if it is. For example, if you want to know, am I and this person finally going to get together and have a good, committed, long-term romantic relationship? Something like that. You can ask that. Just a suggestion. Okay, so let's get started. So in the first position we have, and this is the position of, this is how you see your partner. And if you're someone who is actually, well, first of all, let's just say you're partnered up with somebody, whether you're actually together right now or you're thinking about being together or whatever it is. You've got someone in mind. This is how you see your partner. Now, this is someone who has got this is two staves, the two of staves. They've got, or two of rods. They've got two rods, and they've got the world in their hands. So I'm getting a feeling of travel with this. You may be in a position where you're having to make a choice. If this is a long distance relationship, you may be, trying to decide, what do I do about this? Do I travel? Do I change my, do I pick up and move for this relationship? You may be in that position right now, Gemini. And this is a big choice to make because it looks like it could require world travel. Notice this person is holding the world in their hands. So it's kind of a big choice. Next, in the second position, this is how your partner sees you. And the Emperor can be a very stern ruler, but this is somebody who is really good in business because he definitely knows how to have command over his, well, how do I want to say this? He knows how to put his mind over his heart. Okay, now sometimes that's not really a good way to be, but, and especially from a male perspective, there are times when, okay, you may feel a connection with somebody, even a very strong connection, but it may not be the right time. Or maybe he has things going on with his job or his work situation that need attention right now. And because of that, maybe he cannot be right now the partner he needs to be for you or would like to be for you. So I'm just getting what's coming to me right now. But he's doing what he has to do to take care of business, to be that emperor, to be that ruler. And he's trying to do it from a very grounded, no nonsense position. And it may not always feel so good for you because you maybe want more affection, you want more of something that he's not able to give you right now. Now, the next position is your needs in the relationship, and it's the Seven of Pentacles. And this is somebody you've put in a lot of effort. You feel that you've put in a lot of effort with this relationship, and you're just kind of waiting to kind of reap the benefits of all of that effort and all of the emotions and everything that you feel that you put into this relationship. Also, related to the other card, you may also literally, because Pentacles often refers to money, and often in a career situation, this refers to somebody who has put in the work and is also waiting to sow the benefits or reap the rewards of the hard work of preparing for a certain job or a career. And that may be something that is holding up your relationship, because until your ship kind of comes in, uh, you may not actually feel to be as prepared to be in a real soulmate kind of connection, because you can't really stand on your own 2 feet. You don't want to come into the relationship being a burden financially, or being needing to be rescued. And so that, for some of you, that may very well apply, because next to that card is the Five of Pentacles, and this is how your partner is seeing you. Um, and a lot of times the pages have information about money, job, career, usually having to do with money. So that kind of just goes along with what I just said to you about, waiting for things to come through as far as job and career. Maybe your partner is also kind of waiting for things to come through for you with your career, and maybe even his career. Because as I said, if he doesn't feel that he's ready, because I have to explain something here. Most men, before they're going to commit to a long-term relationship with a woman, they have to feel like they can provide for your needs, whatever those needs may be it financially. And even though you may think, well, I don't, I have my own job, I have my own work, I don't need him to take care of me. He may not feel the same way. If he doesn't feel stable in his own work situation, or if his work situation is causing a lot of stress, he may not feel like he's ready to be the kind of partner that he really would want to be. Okay, so now the current state of the relationship. Oh my gosh, I really don't like when this card shows up, and this has shown up for some of the other signs as well. Seven of Swords. This is kind of a lying, cheating, sneaking card. And so for some of you, there may actually be some lying and cheating going on. For some of you, it may be that you and or your partner It could be both of you that are kind of, taking a step back and maybe seeing other people or chatting with other people or, on the dating websites without, really saying anything to each other. You're just kind of not talking about it, you know, um, because maybe you're not sure about how this is all going to work. But there is some untruth going on. Not everything is being said. So that's kind of where you're at. And sometimes this card even refers to a situation where you're lying to yourself. You're fooling yourself. It's not even so much your partner is doing anything. It's just, what are you what are you hiding from yourself? What are you not willing to look at right now? Okay? Now, the path that you want this relationship to take. Okay, the lovers. Now, this is the soulmate card. So you want this person, you want this relationship to be a soulmate relationship. And your partner, what he wants, on the other hand, it came up the Fool in reverse. Now, the Fool is generally, this is a happy-go-lucky kind of person, just very adventurous and just kind of stepping right out there. But as you can see on the card, this happy-go-lucky Fool is about to step right over the cliff and fall into the ocean. So the fact that it came up in the reverse, this is telling me, again, your partner is being very head over heart. He doesn't want to just, let's just see, he kind of wants to have things laid out in a more stable way, especially in terms of finances, I'm hearing. Um, and maybe you're just wanting to kind of, maybe you're willing to go across the world and be real adventurous like the Fool, and just kind of say, well, we'll just see what happens. But your partner is not. Your partner is more methodical, is the word that's coming to me. Is being more methodical and wants to have, things a little bit better planned out. It's something, a factor you should consider in the relationship. The High Priestess came up in reverse. Normally, the High Priestess is very well connected, psychically, intuitively, well balanced. You see the two poles, one black, one white. She's very balanced. She's got the moon at her feet. The moon is always, suggestive of the things that we can't see, the subconscious. She's very psychic, and but she came up in the reverse. So I would say you need to spend a lot more time getting quiet within yourself. And if that means meditating more, that means even just taking 5 minutes in the morning just to meditate, get quiet, go within, and take time to listen to your deeper um, inner self, because I feel like you're kind of neglecting that. Okay, and so I'm going to get to the outcome card for Gemini. Remember, I told you at the beginning to have a question about this relationship. And so I'm going to give you the outcome card right now. And it is, ta-da, it's the Eight of Swords. Now, this came up in the reverse, which is actually good because when it's upright, it looks like that. This is you blindfolded and feeling like you're all tied up, you're trapped. And you've got all these swords, which represent mental thought, mental anguish, really, a lot of worry and feeling trapped, but you're trapped by your own belief system, your own thoughts and beliefs about the situation. So it came up in the reverse, which is really good because that tells me that you're actually starting to come out of that situation. So maybe you've been doing a lot of EFT tapping, maybe you've been watching my other videos on EFT tapping, and that's been helping you to release some of the lower self emotions, the fear and the anger that are maybe getting in your way. That's great. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it to let go of the fear and get yourself from, feeling trapped. Oh, and by the way, the answer to your question, if it was a yes, no, the answer is a yes. Okay. If you need more clarification, please look in the description underneath this video, and there is a link to my page where you can um, get a private reading with me. Now, I pulled 2 clarification cards, and I'm going to go over those now. The first one was the shield. Protection, boundaries. That's what this one is about. The shield. So I'm going to read to you a little bit from the book about what that one means. And, the significance of this, if you see, this is a 22. This is card number 22. 22 is a very, this is one of those very powerful numbers in numerology. I was born under a 22. And people who are born under a 22 are very, they're really meant to affect the world in a very big way. And I might get more into the numerology later on with you. But also, I just want to say, while I'm on that subject, if you do sign up for a reading with me, what you'll want to do is when you pay through PayPal, and by the way, you don't have to have a PayPal account to pay through PayPal. You can use your Visa, MasterCard, your debit card, whatever. But in where it says additional information to seller or something like that, the more information you give me about yourself, like if you give me your birth date, I can also run your numerology if you and I can add that into your reading, so I can give you more of an idea also about your life purpose and how that fits into all of this. So anyhow, back to the shield. So this came up in the upright, so it's the positive application. So the shield represents protection and your outer boundaries. So if the shield has been lifted into your spread today, it is here to teach you about your boundaries and how you can learn to protect yourself. You are entitled to a sacred space around your body, a space that is under your authority. Many people have learned to form and respect their outer boundaries and claim their space inside of them. If you have no outer boundaries and are inclined to have people violate your privacy, you need to pull out the shield and protect yourself. The shield is not here to hide behind so that no one can reach you, but rather to provide you as an individual with a natural protection in your environment. It's up to you to teach others how to respect your boundaries. It is also up to you to decide whom you allow to enter your sacred space, a space you can imagine consisting of your auric field. And if you hold your arms out from your sides and use them as a measure for the width of the field, that will show you what your, how big your auric field is in general. So learn to say yes when appropriate and no when your heart says so. If you examine your mind and listen to your heart only to discover that your answer to a certain question is not a yes, then it is definitely no. Concepts like maybe, later, or perhaps are really only substitutes for no. So I hope you got that, Gemini. If your answer is a maybe, then for right now at least, it's actually a no. You know, and it's okay to just say no. Now the second card I got that came up was card number 20. It's Sleipnir, and it's changes. This one is about changes, and it's interesting because it has in the clouds you can see a horse kind of galloping through the clouds, but this came up in the reverse. So looks like maybe having some problem with changes, and this is card number 20. And this is in the negative application. So the changes that Sleipnir represents cause you anxiety, and you feel safer holding on to things as they are. You are repelled by having to follow the natural flow of life. You accept the fact that other people's lives change only if yours is allowed to be at a standstill. You feel comforted by the passiveness of the moment and expect growth to come to you without a struggle. Neither airplanes nor birds can fly without resistance. Therefore, resistance creates the best opportunity for you to grow. When you face up to resistance, you put yourself to the test, and it is through that test that you grow. Seeking, you find solutions you didn't know were available. Look around yourself only to see that nothing is at a standstill. Everything is subject to change. Therefore, you need to overcome your fear of change. Wow, Gemini, I know that made a lot of sense for me, and I hope that also was helpful for you. Because, you know, sometimes, I mean, I say a lot, you know, that you need to just go with the flow and that you shouldn't have to struggle. And, but that message made a lot of sense to me too, because it's kind of saying, you know, yes, with balance. But sometimes, but you know, whenever you set a goal, and this is why a lot of people don't set goals, because it brings up resistance, and they get afraid of the resistance, so they just don't bother to set goals, and they just tend to be at a standstill. So anyway, Gemini, I hope that this was helpful for you. Again, I have a special for a 2-question reading. It's only $22 for a limited time. So if you need more clarification, please go to the link in the description below this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can get this reading again next month. Also, check your rising sign. Check the videos that I've done for your rising sign, and your moon sign. Oh, and another thing before I forget, it's about this card. You know, I was telling you that you might not feel ready for kind of a soulmate relationship yet because you're still waiting for things to come in. As far as a job is concerned, and you really feel you need to stand on your own 2 feet. Well, I did make a tapping video for, it's called tapping, EFT tapping for feeling like a burden, and I would really recommend that you go through that video and do that tapping, because I want to make sure that some of your feeling unready for a relationship is not coming from a place of fear or coming from a place where you're feeling like you're too much of a burden, because that is going to have you showing up for relationships in a very negative, unhealthy way. So check out that video, Gemini. Okay, I'll see you next month then.